Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. This is the part 3 tutorial of point of sale system. In our last class, we completed the layout. Okay, so new bar section, all the stuff we have completed. We have separately we have to create the folder libraries. Inside the folder, we have to declare two modules. This is script, this is styles. Right. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to implement the this layout.blade. I'm going to include these styles, right? So we have to call them. So how to call them? So we here the style is gone, so we have to call them. So we have to write include here, include libraries. So here how to write it here, right? So we have to observe this one, right? So here inside this is a layout.blade.php, right? So in your core Java PHP application, you can see, okay, you have to include the header and footer. You have to put this one folder and you have to implement at the include keyword. The same thing in Laravel also, there's a include keyword. So how to write it here? At sign, you have to write include. Here you have to write it where this resided inside the libraries folder. So libraries is read this, get the libraries, single quotation, in between the single quotation you have to write this libraries dot style. Write a style. You have to write style. If you want, you can write styles. So I'm write styles. You have to make it as it is styles. Right? Styles. Right. So this one should be, I'm going to get this one name. Simply you have to get this copied. You have to put it here. Ras the layer.blade styles. Right. You have to implement the styles. Right. So here file save all. Now you have to bring back to the application and check. You have to refresh them. Here the style has been, right? Very simple. Right? You have to include like this. So after that you have to add this script as well, which is a script. So that also you have to define where have to set the body tag, right? So body tag, what you're going to do is you have to define the body tag, right? So what I'm going to do is here this div is started here, this div is closed here, right? So the div is started and closing, right? Here I'm going to define another div, right? So here inside this div you have to write it here, here you have to write it here, the same include, copy it, paste it over here. You can write it over here as well. Same thing here. I'm going to put it here simply, right? So here you have to write this one is a styles as scripts. So the scripts, copy the scripts. You have to paste it over here. Layout. This one should be library scripts. Right. That's it. Now you have to attach two things. One is a library scripts, and this separate two files you have to include. Right, the layout.play. This is a template. This template you have the CSS style you have to declare. JavaScript also declare. This is the template, which is a nav bar section here. Only we have to declare the only nav bar. After here, heal content. Right, the here you have to write it another div. This div started here, so close it here. After that, what you are going to do is you have to write a heal content. Right, so you have to write another put your div. Here where the pages are displayed. Right, here we have failed this display, here healed, right? So if you are click the category pages also display over here. If you are click on this brand page is also there. If you are click the link, the based on the page need to be displayed, right? So how to display, you have write heal content. So healed, there's a keyword healed here, heal content. You just copy here, I have to paste it here, heal content, right? So this how you have to implement the project. Very simple, right? After what you're going to do is we have done so far well. Now we have a category part. This is a view and controller. So controller, we have a small mistake. We have written the controller. We have created controller spelling mistakes. All right. So what you're going to do is I'm going to. I don't like this one. You have to remove the delete that controller, right? Because the spelling mistake, right? So I'm going to create a controller again. So okay, these all the things I just close it. There are so many pages are open up. See about right. Now what you're going to do is here I'm going to create the controller. So how to create the controller? You have to type the command php artisan make controller. This controller, what the name is, I'm going to create a controller which is a category controller. Category controller. Here you have type the name correctly. Controller. Because earlier I have typed by the name spelling mistake, so that I problem with the name. Now that name is correctly here. We have display right. Now here first what you are going to do is we have to call the model. We have here we have to load the page. Here we have to load the page. So what you are going to do is first you have to call the model. So the call model is the part which will be communicate the database and get the data. So we have to call the model. So model. Okay, we have to write this one. I'm going to change this one as a here. This one should be which model? Category model. Category. Right. Now if we perfectly we have to here we have to get the data from the model through the database. This we have to make the schema over here. Categories table. Right. So now what you're going to do is first I'm going to go to the first you have to load the controller. So it's which is a here we have didn't give the rest control, we have didn't did the rest part here, right? So here we have a rest control, right? So no problem, so you have to make it as a method, no problem. Right now here we have to establish these two things, so I'm going to get it this one. So to say protect that, you write the protected. Here I'm going to write this one as a category. Category function. We have to write the function public function constraint. Here you have to write category. Here the model, you have to give the model name which is a category, right? What I did here is we have to create variable. This variable, this variable, okay, we have to assign to this object, this category. This is the model, right? So we have to instead of calling this model, we have to calling this variable. It will be communicate with this variable. So we have to write like this. This category equal new category. You have to create the model. So you have to this keyword to use to this create the object. Right. Now this one we have to use it. Very simple. Right. So what you're going to do is here you can see the index function. Right. This function we have to copy these two functions. Right. Okay. So here what you're going to do is you have to write the function which is a public function index. Right. The first function I have to do open bracket and close bracket. So you write response. Okay, this one should be the table which is the categories. So the categories table, right? So I write categories. That's a categories table. Here write the categories table, right? Response. This. So here what is the things? We have to write the category, right? Through we have to get the data. We need all the data. What the data? We have to all the data. So which it will be instead of writing this, we have to write here this one. We have to equal to this. So we have to call this category. So what I am going to do is when the index page is loaded, it goes to the category. So this category, what are the data available? All the table we have to uh, get the help of model, and the model will be communicate with the database loaded, and you have to put the response, right? The response will be passing to here, right? Now what I'm going to do is here, what I'm going to do is we have to write the pages, right? Pages I'm going to create first page. So category we have to create the first page as index.plate.php. We already created, right? Through this page, I would write it here. Simply, you have to write it this page, right? So first you have to write here extend. We have to write extends. First you have to write that keyword extends layout, right? So here the view here extend layout, only layout, right? So if you have put the layout in the separate folder, that folder name and you have to write the layout. So I haven't put separate folder. Only the file name I have to return here so that layout extend, right? After that, what you're going to do is second step section. That is section. Section means it's nothing but a content, right? The section. We have got the sections over here, right? So after that, what you're going to do is we have to end section. We are at the end section. This is an end section. Section is started here, closing here. This section should be, we have write it a complete HTML part, HTML codes. HTML code means here this one, this design, right? So I'm going to copy this design, I'll be explain it. So if I return this one, it take too much of time, so that I just copy this one, right? I have to paste it over here, right? So here also have to return the CSS file as well. The CSS file also I just copied, paste it below. Don't worry, I'll be explain it. Okay, so if you have written this one, it take too much of time to complete this. All the project code also I'll give it. So no problem at all. Right. Now what you're going to do is you can see here, as you can see here, this is the our category section. So you have to put a category. Right. So here the container start the div tag. Right? The container we have to close it. The div tag. After that, what I did here is we have to implement the h1 tag. So here's a heading category. After that row, you have to implement the row over here. After that, what I did here is you have to write here. This one should be there. You have to write it here. Here we don't need these tools. We have a simple space we have to given in between this one. You have to put a simple space here. Say that you have to write like this. Okay. So you have space, simple space. You have written this one. You have to here. It's not like this. Here this space. So that here in between two spaces you have write like this. Simple space you have gave. Right. So after that you have write the 8. These are the size 8 you have gave. You have right here. After that, you have the form. You have to implement the form. After that, you have to see a ref, which is a token. So you have right here simple 3 field you have to implement it. First field you have right here. What are the columns are there? 2 columns, category and ID. So I will write it here. You write here category. Sorry, yeah, category name. You write this one should be cat name. This one should be we have write a this not things these things we now need only the two things are there. One is a so we have to this one we no need them. We have to get rid of this line. So only here this is the drop down. You have to implement the drop down, right? You have to implement the drop down, right? Drop down. We have to implement the drop down. In order to do the thing is here you have to I'll explain it. So here this drop down. So right drop down. Here you can see the label status. Select class, this OM bootstrap class, status, right? So status, the same status, the status. Okay, the name is must. This are the name where the value is going. When you click the submit button, the particular values goes to that page using this name, the name attribute. Okay, the name attribute you should declare this name attribute. Without name attribute, it not pass into the data into the database, right? Okay. So after that, we have a select field, select menu. We have declared tokens true and false. Okay, if you select as true, one will be stored in the database. If it is false, value two will be stored in the database. So we have a two fields. One is a cat name, and another is status. Right. It consists of the button, which is a submit button. We have a submit. You will be able to see this is submit button. We have a submit button. You will be able to see the submit button. It's a register submit button. You can see the submit button register, right? So we have a one register button, right? So after that we have a field. One is a category. This one should be the category name. Another one is a status. After that, here we are. This is the table called headings. Here inside the T body, we have to display the data from the database, right? So if you are store the data, if you are at the data category name and select the value, click at register button, value should be added. After that, you added the value should must be shown onto the database table here. So how to show? Very simple. Very simple. How to show? Very simple. Here you have tried the here right here the plural letter here categories. Categories. So here here write category. So here write like this. So here I'm going to these things I just copy it. I'll be explained. Don't worry. Right. Here we have write it here the same. Right. Okay, so you can see here what I did here is you can write it here. We have written the simple page T body. We have write it for each loop. What is the for each loop? Which is nothing but we have to we have to loop it. We have to print the values. Okay, print the value. So there is a collection there. If you make the collection, this all the collection should be printed. If you go to the shop, there are various vegetables are there, right? So potatoes, there are many vegetables there. We have to print out the loops, loop it up those vegetables, right? So same thing. We have a collection of categories. So we have a collection of categories. Categories as a key. We have to get one by one. We have to get the vegetable one by one. Vegetable leeks, get it. Okay, potatoes we are get it, right? Like this. Okay. So the same thing you have tried it here. Categories as key you have get one by one. So first this is the we have number. Okay, so second one we have category cat name. Like if you have a cat name, you can see the table column cat name. Second is the status. So these are how many category names are there. It will be display how many categories status are should be there. It will be displayed, right? So that's the things we have right here, right? So here the status we have write it here. There should be the condition because status I have already told. If the status become 1, true need to be selected. If the status become 2, false need to be selected. Okay, if it is 1, true selected, otherwise false selected, right? Based on the condition we have to make the program, right? So when the status is coming here, if it is 1, true has been selected. If it is false, false has been displayed through that table. It will be indicate the table, right? After that, we have a two different button. One is a this one should be about edit button. So edit button we have tried to say edit. Simple one here the button edit. Here you have tried the route category. Inside the category folder we have an edit. When you click this button, it goes to edit page along with the ID. Why this we have to set it the along with the ID? Why we are set with the along with the ID? Because we have ID is a primary key. When you click edit the record and delete the record, we are using to make the changes and delete the particular record. We have to using that particular ID and do the stuff, right? That's the thing you have tried it. Here we have to delete the record also. We have to go to the delete category dot destroy. There's a destroy method. Okay, this is a destroy method. You have here a destroy method. Okay, this is a form. You have a destroy method. Along get the ID and go to that particular method. Okay, so these are all the things we have to declaring here. We are here category controller, right? The store method. What the store method does is you get the values, right? Store request. Here we have a what is the thing category, right? So what I did here is you can see when the page is loaded. After that, we have to fill the record. Fill the record mean you have to fill the record. You have to select the category name and status click register button, what happens is it goes to a category controller store action method. We have a category controller. This is a category controller. You can write it category controller store action method means goes to here. You will get all the values here. Request. What are the requests you are getting? What are the requests you are getting? You are getting these two requests. Which two? These two requests. You are getting these two requests. One is a cat name and status. These two requests you are receiving here. After that, this category, this model, we have to pass it to the request and create the record, and it will be redirect the page. That's the thing you have to write it over here, right? Okay. Now these two things we have do the things. So here, here you can see the category we are loaded. Return view. Which page we are return view? View to here return view. Where index page. Index page. We have to return category. This is category folder. Category folder index. That's the thing, right? So let's file save all. We have to go to the route section. Where's the route? We have defined the route as well. Here's the layout, return layout, right? Now I'm going to declare route as well. Route also you write it like this. You write implement the you write resources. You write the resources. We have here route resource. We have called the resource method resource keyword. It will manage all the CRUD application. So if the request is coming slash category, it goes to the category controller. If the request is coming slash, it goes category controller. You have to mention the path. Your controller reside on where, you have to mention it over here. So you write it over here. My controller is reside on where app is the HTTP controller, your controller, category control. You write here, rename it as a category control, right? Category control, right? It's close to here, right? Now let's file save all and what the running application is. Now let's test that. So the category, we have to didn't give the things, so we have to write this category. Where's my links? You have to provide it. Layout.blade. Here the links you have to provide. Link is if the link is coming here. If you click on this, it goes to the link is coming. It goes to. I'll be explaining. Don't worry. Right. If links, you have to click on this link. It's open up the category page. I got the error. This error mean here if you get the error, you would make the solution. You can the routes the request system slash here the controller which name is wrong. So category you have to get key wrong. That's why it will be telling this control is not there. Target classes. Now if it is refresh it, right now again this category. If you click on this, why what's happened? Right, the problem. Right here we have not write like this. You have write it here. You have write like this. Open bracket and close bracket. Open bracket and close bracket. Inside here URL slash category. Right. This how we have write it here. The URL instead of writing here, you have write in Laravel URL the keyword Laravel open and close bracket. Inside the open and close bracket. After that your URL keyword you have write like this. This is the way you have write it. Or yield content, we have written the not here, written the yield content. This is your URL. Inside here, we have the pages should be displayed. These pages, this category index page, all things. So that div close it. Here you have write heal content. So outright the heal content, you have write like this. Healed So try the heal. You have tried heal content. So you have tried the things you have tried here. You have tried like this. Heal content right here. Heal content. You have tried heal content like this. This is how you have tried the heal content. Now let's file save all. And now let's bring back to the application and check refresh it. Here it's coming. It's working successfully. Right? It's working successfully. I hope you guys will understood things well. I'll see you in my next lecturing and continue the video. Thank you.